not just a former president, an author. Now, you've written this book, Citizen, My Life After the White House. This is your latest book. I know that you are an author. You've written many books. But tell us about this one in particular. Your last day in office was January 20th. And
2001.
2001. What was that like for you that day when you finally step out of that level of responsibility and sort of walk away? What did that feel like?
Well, it was, I felt all kinds of things. I felt gratitude. I felt happy that the country was in, I thought, pretty good shape. Little did we know that we were close to 9/11.
Yes, correct.
And I felt profound gratitude that the American people had let me serve in this job for 2 terms. And I thought I would be able to do what I think everybody should do when you have to start anew. So live in the present and for the future. You don't let the past go, but you can't live there anymore. So it's like, I look at the White House and I say, I don't live there anymore.
Right, and that had to be strange because you went from living, like you've been in
Public housing.
public housing for years.
Yeah.
For years, like suddenly
Governor.
you had to find
Yeah.
a place to live. Like you're like, how do I, suddenly you're, what are you, there's got to be the bell that you ring when you needed something as president. Now what do? You just wander around and
figure it out.
You figure it out.
But I like
How does
that.
the coffee machine work?
I was always pretty independent when I was young.
Sure.
I joke with Hillary sometimes when we met 50 years ago. I could do breakfast better than her. I could sew my clothes up. I didn't have to be high maintenance.
Right.
That didn't bother me.
But was it finding something to do afterwards?
Yes.
Is that what led to all of the philanthropic work? Yeah.
Well, I started thinking about it in my second term, because I knew when it was going to end, and I knew I would be young and had lots of energy and contacts. And I had watched Hillary work in nonprofit work. So I thought, well, I can do something with this, and I'd like to. And I had a very strong feeling that in government, too many people only debate 2 things. What are you going to spend or not? And how much are you going to spend on what? Nobody ever talks about what I was obsessed with, which is whatever you propose to do and however much you are or aren't going to spend on it, which are very important questions. But how do you propose to do it to actually get the good results you, in your heart, know you should be providing? How are you going to do it? And even today, when I'm just a voter, I listen very carefully to how people answer the how question.
Yes.
Because that's what matters.
That's right.
And so I tried to write a book about how I've structured my life, and I was hoping it would be of some relevance to other people who have to change directions in their lives, And I've had a wonderful time. I've loved it, and I've loved the challenges, and I was happy about the successes, frustrated on occasion by the lack of them, and then reminded all over again that there are no permanent victories in life, no permanent victories or defeats.
That's right. That's right.
As long as you keep going.
Well,
it was
we
great,
certainly appreciate you writing this book.
Citizen, My Life After
After the White House, on sale now. Pick it up